microphony.
And a phony at the mic.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
The Doctor of Discernment is now online.
You know, much like my show, in that it's a local reaction to things that are happening on a federal level.
Dispensing a daily dose of common sense. No prescription required.
Wow, do I have a boatload of stuff for you, from the crazy to the absurd. Let's start getting into it because, I mean, it is bizarro world out there. And I say, if it's obvious to me, it should be obvious to everybody. Oh, wow. Who could have seen this coming?
This is the Fourth Hour with Greg Belfrage.
Hold on to your butts.
Broadcasting from the basement bunker beneath KELO Radio. Welcome to the Fourth Hour of the Greg Belfrage Show. You know, I'm getting some folks on YouTube who are catching me, and they don't know who I am. I'm a radio host in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. That's what I do. I've been the morning show host for over 20 years in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Very conservative program. So a lot of folks, they're watching. They're not actually seeing my YouTube page, so they don't know where I'm located. They don't know where I'm at. They don't know what my background is. And you're seeing some of those comments that start filtering through YouTube. And a lot of them I just ignore because they're as I have told you many times, I'm always, I'm talking to my audience. I know who my audience is, and I'm talking to them. And so some folks are going to stumble upon us. And in fact, somebody did on YouTube. And I just saw the nicest comment from someone who said, first-time viewer, stayed to listen because you instantly reminded me of Rush Limbaugh. I will be back. God bless. I am just really, first of all, that's incredible praise. I really, really appreciate that. But thank you for weighing in with that kind of a comment. That really is takes my breath away. I'm so grateful for all of you, and I try to make sure that you know that I'm grateful for every minute you give me on the radio. I'm grateful for, the time you spend on the Fourth Hour of the Greg Belfrage Show. I'm just really appreciative to all of you. So let's get underway. President Trump on Truth Social this morning. When you watch low IQ Ilhan Omar and Rashida I should have prefaced this. There is still a lot of reaction to the State of the Union speech and the behavior of Democrats who weren't there and were there. So Trump says when you watch low IQ Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib as they screamed uncontrollably at the very elegant State of the Union, such an important and beautiful event, they had the bulging, bloodshot eyes of crazy people, lunatics, he says, mentally deranged and sick, who frankly look like they should be institutionalized. When people can behave like that, and knowing that they are crooked and corrupt politicians, so bad for our country, we should send them back where they came from as fast as possible. They can only damage the United States of America. They can do nothing to help it. They should actually get on a boat with Trump deranged Robert De Niro. De Niro has been out there making comments. A lot of these comments I don't bring to you. I don't. Because it's like crazy people who are, who cares? They're nuts. I mean, you and I we've got serious challenges and things we're facing. I just don't think they're relevant, So Robert De Niro, the president says another sick and demented person with, I believe, an extremely low IQ who has absolutely no idea what he's doing or saying, some of which is seriously criminal. When I watched him break down in tears last night, much like a child would do, I realized that he may be even sicker than crazy Rosie O'Donnell. He's getting everybody in here. This is the president on True Social. And then he said, crazy Rosie O'Donnell, who is right now in Ireland, trying to figure out how to come back into our beautiful United States. The only difference between De Niro and Rosie is that she is probably somewhat smarter than him, which isn't saying much. The good news is that America is now bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before, and it's driving them absolutely crazy. Yeah, I think there is some of that going on, right? Folks are just being driven just absolutely crazy. Among them, get a load of this. I had not seen this until this morning. Representative Seth Moulton brought an illegal alien as his guest. So an illegal alien was his guest and apparently brought him to the State of the Union speech. And you get people responding to this on social media saying, Democrat Representative Seth Moulton smuggled in an illegal alien to Trump's State of the Union address, then had his chief of staff harbor the illegal in Moulton's office to shield him from police. And Nick Shorter says harboring an illegal is a federal felony. Arrests need to be made. Boston Globe reports on this. Milford teen was arrested by ICE last May. Reportedly left the State of the Union when he was recognized by the Department of Homeland Security. Man, these people are just crazy. This is incredible. And so this is going on. You have people being smuggled in to the State of the Union speech. I mean, that is just mind-blowingly stupid, mind-blowingly insane. And Miranda Devine's got a piece this morning. A lot of reaction to the president's State of the Union speech. I know it's a little bit late, but we haven't talked about it here much. I've talked about it on the radio show, obviously, but not here so much. Miranda Devine's got a piece this morning saying the Democrats showed their true colors at Tuesday evening State of the Union when they failed the president's test of allegiance to this country. Everybody is picking up on this. I picked up on it. And as I am prone to say, like my old chemistry professor, teacher, George Willis at the old Washington High School in Sioux Falls used to say, why, if Greg can do it, why, sure, anybody could do it, right? So if I get it, everybody gets. The president, he asked every lawmaker in the chamber to stand if they believe their primary duty is to protect American citizens rather than illegal immigrants. It's a no-brainer, right? It's an absolute no-brainer. Well, of course, you stand up. Yeah. Their primary duty should be to protect American citizens, not illegal immigrants. And Devine says, that should have been a no-brainer. It's the essence of putting America first, but the Democrats refuse to stand. And Trump said one of the great things about the State of the Union is how it gives Americans the chance to see very clearly what their representatives really believe. He said, so tonight I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. So all of the Republicans are immediately on their feet. There's just thunderous applause coming from Republicans. And the Democrats sat there. They didn't clap. They just sat there. They didn't stand. They didn't clap. They did nothing. And the president said, isn't that a shame? It really is a shame. Rashida Tlaib was there wearing a badge. I don't know if you've seen photos of this. She had a badge on her jacket. F ICE, it says on it. It spelled it out, of course. F ICE, member of Congress sitting there. And so Devine says, no surprise the Democrats are refusing to pass the SAVE Act. Here we go again. Requires proof of citizenship to register to vote and an ID to cast a ballot. since it's a measure with 83% approval in opinion polls. Trump pointed out the only plausible reason the Democrats would oppose the SAVE Act is because they want to cheat. It's the only way that they can get elected is that they want to cheat. Absolutely right. So Miranda Devine writes on this in a lot more detail. You can read the piece over at the New York Post this morning. It's just incredible. And Devine says, if she was talking about some of the criminals and the killings and, some of these folks that we're seeing deported now, who killed like Laken Riley would be an example, among many others. And Miranda Devine says, these are the monsters who Democrats and their useful idiots believe are more important than the Laken Rileys, the Rachel Morans, and the thousands of Americans who have and will continue to be victims of this insanity. Trump was right to remind America whose side the Democrats are on, lest we forget. Great piece by Miranda Devine. There's also a piece by Amanda Head at justthenews.com. Trump draws clear midterm battle lines. Patriots versus Hatriots. I love this. The Hatriots. I'm going to steal that. Don't be surprised when you hear us talking about the Hatriots on the program from now on. So the president stood before the country, cataloged his first 13 full months in protest. Amanda Head writes, Democrats spent the night either sulking as part of the joint session of Congress, shouting at him, or presenting their own programming. And you'd see that even CNN is saying that was a mistake. Even CNN, leftist CNN, is saying that was a mistake by Democrats, because what you saw were just all of these empty seats, right? Just rows of empty seats. They were out. But the Hatriots, oh yeah, baby, I love that. You're going to hear that again. Also, Adam Coleman has got a piece over at the New York Post. Just a lot of reaction to the behavior of the Democrats during the president's State of the Union speech. So the president laid out the question and a choice for the midterms. Are you for Americans or not? And so he is keying in, same comment that we've been talking about here for days. The president saying, the first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. That was a lightning bolt, I think, for many of us. I think those of us who love this country and encourage people to come to the country, but do so legally. But the idea that people who come into the country illegally have any rights ahead of American citizens is, it makes no sense to those of us, I think, with common sense. Yet Democrats were remaining in their chairs, refusing to get up. The yelling from the opposition party. And he writes, for the sake of optics, the Democrats refuse to stand because they genuinely believe people who are here illegally are on an equal footing as an American like me. Absolutely right. And that's why this is so crazy. Now, get a load of this. This is someone who has voted previously for Barack Obama. And he writes about that. First time I voted was for Barack Obama, who openly spoke with a pro-American and common sense immigration message, maintaining that America is a land of opportunity only accessible to those who come here legally. Look how far, and he's right. Barack Obama was one of those who was strong on the borders. He wanted America to have a secure border. The Democrats have gone nuts. and they have just gotten further and further away. And now they are being propelled by the likes of, Rashida Tlaib and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and the Bernie Sanders and the rest of the leftist Marxist Democrats. It's just incredible. So much so that he writes that, and he goes on to write and share comments from Barack Obama, and he says this rhetoric is indistinguishable from what Donald Trump is saying today. And it was the primary political message that got him reelected. So folks are getting this. They're seeing it. They understand it. The Democrats don't. They can't. They couldn't buy a clue right now. It's just absolutely, absolutely incredible as you watch that. It's kind of breathtaking in the pure craziness of the whole thing. Okay, if you are not the couple of things that I want to mention. I am taking a look. There's a program that I use so that I can stream at the same time. I stream on YouTube, on Facebook, and X. Currently, I'm not able to stream live to X, so I'm posting this afterward. Once it's concluded, I post the YouTube version on X. And I don't know why it's not able to stream to X right now. I'm hoping they're going to correct that and fix it. Growing number of you are watching and participating, and I really greatly appreciate it. I think what I'm seeing now, for those of you who watch on Facebook, got a number of people who watch on Facebook, and I would love to hear from you. Would you prefer to have this in the vertical position, up and down, so you can watch it on your phone, or would you prefer to have it in the horizontal? Those on YouTube can watch in either. You can watch on either horizontal or vertical. It's up to you. So I need some feedback from you who are watching. Again, especially if you're watching on Facebook primarily, would you prefer to have it? Do you watch primarily on your phone, or do you watch? I prefer horizontal because generally then you tip your phone, but not everybody does. And I noticed that generally speaking on YouTube, I get far more views from people watching in the horizontal position, or in the vertical position, up and down. So I'd love a little bit of your feedback here. That's very, very useful to me. And because I want to put this in front of you in whatever way you find it most, the easiest to consume. So if vertical is easier, horizontal is easier, let me hear from you. And it really, really kind of helps me out. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for today. You have made it to the end of today's program, so you're part of my gallery of champions. A salute to the Bunker Brigade. Those are the folks on YouTube that are commenting. I see their comments ticking by here on the right side of my screen, and I'm grateful for all of you. So until tomorrow, my friend, I'm underground and gone.